Yes, it's for the next one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be in Copenhagen next meeting.
Maybe I didn't. You gonna call in?
No. I want to wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is.
It's not.
Well, I won't go to bed at 1 o'clock. I might be a little, I might have had a few too many.
Wasn't that what I have to say so?
Yeah. Wow.
I believe this feeds on what.
Yeah. For the record.
For the record, I was sober at the meeting.
All right.
All righty, I'll call the June 1st City Council meeting to order. Call of the roll.
Ashley Allers. Here. Abby Hansen.
Here.
John Hawkins.
Here.
John Marvel.
Here.
Megan McFarland. Here.
Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call for motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Okay, petitions, communications and requests. This is the time of the meeting that a citizen may address the council on a matter not on the agenda. Except in cases of emergency, the city council will not take any action at this meeting, but ask the city staff to research the matter or have the matter placed on the agenda for a future meeting. Anyone have anything for us? Okay, we'll go to the consent agenda. The following items have been deemed non-controversial routine actions to be approved by the council on a single motion. If a council member or a member of the audience wishes to have an item removed from this list, it will be considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. I have two things, well, more than two things, but A, minutes of May 18. B is the claims in the fund list. C is recommend approval for issuance of beer liquor licenses by the Iowa Department of Commerce for the following. Approve a temporary special Class C retail alcohol license premise transfer for the Hamilton County Speedway to participate in the Webster City Chamber of Commerce Market Nights. Each temporary transfer is a 24-hour transfer, transferring the license from 1200 Bluff Street to 628 2nd Street for the following dates: June 4th, 11th, 18th, 25th, July 2nd, 9th, 16th, 30th, and August 6th, 13, 20, and 27. D is appointments to commissions. Anna Woodward to the Airport Commission for 4-year term ending May 31st. Lynn J. Cox to the Park and Recreation Commission for a 4-year term ending May 31st of 2030. Both those are 2030, sorry. And then Shelby Crooner and James Cum to the Planning and Zoning Commission for 4-year terms ending May 31st of 2030. Eric McKinley to the Traffic Study Committee for a 4-year term for ending May 31st on 2030. And that's it.
Move to approve collectively.
I have a quick question before we move to approve. Actually two. One was on the liquor license transfer. Is that because they're going to have a beer garden or something during market nights? Do we know what they do?
Usually, yeah.
I assume that. So
Yeah.
just wanted to. And then on I had a couple of people approach me about the appointments. And for the record, could you just explain how we come up with these names? With commissions.
People applied for the boards originally, and usually what we do is we ask, so they're all on the board over there for
Right.
all the names, but and when they comes up their terms ending, we ask if they want to go again, and if they do, then we just put them back on. We have done in the past, because new council members, we've actually gone back and re-interviewed them. Maybe that might be something we'd have to do again something you'd like, if you wanted to know.
I just think moving forward, and I did have some people ask me, if they're interested in a commission. I know that you come to City Hall and
come down and see the city clerk, and they will put you on a list. So then we do have an opening, they can come, because obviously we get openings all the time.
Right.
And then we talk about it, and sometimes we interview, sometimes we don't. Depends on how many people. If we've got 3 people that turn up for one board, and we interview the 3 people and pick the rest one for the job.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Move to approve collectively.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Okay. We have a public hearing on proposed amendments to the Webster City Riverview Urban Renewal Area. I'll open the hearing. Are there any written objections?
No.
Are there any oral objections? Not even one? No? Okay. I'll close the hearing. Ariel?
Thank you, Mayor and council members. Tonight, city staff is seeking approval of a resolution to streamline and consolidate the city's urban renewal areas. This action does do two primary things. First, it formally dissolves the 2016 industrial urban renewal area, which has not carried any active debt for several years. Concurrently, we would like to expand the Riverview Central Business District boundary to absorb those 3 commercial parcels from the 2016 industrial urban renewal area, which consists of Mary Ann's Custom Meats and Tassler Pallets. The second thing that this does is it updates our Riverview Plan project budgets. Specifically, it increases the downtown revitalization and nuisance project allocation from $150,000 to $1 million. This would fund structural, exterior, beam repairs, or potential blight acquisition along the 400 through 700 blocks of 2nd Street. It also authorizes up to $500,000 through fiscal year 2030 for internal cash advances to cover essential legal, accounting, and professional support. This amendment did go before the Planning and Zoning Commission on May 13th and received a 7-to-1 recommendation for approval. We also consulted with the Hamilton County Webster City Community School District, and neither jurisdictions raised any concerns on this amendment. This consolidation allows us to capture incremental property tax to directly fund these core revitalization efforts. And so tonight, city staff's just recommending approval on the amendment of the Riverview Central Business District urban renewal area and plan.
Question, Ariel, on the downtown area. It was on the blocks of 2nd Street. Is that considered the entire SMID district, or
It's not.
is that just 2nd Street?
It is just 2nd Street, because the Smith District actually jolts down Seneca Street and Des Moines Street, so
Right.
those are not captured into that. However, within that area, those are already captured in the Riverview District.
Okay, call for resolution to declare the necessity and establish an urban renewal area pursuant to section 403.4 of the Code of Iowa and approve urban renewal plan amendment for the City of Webster City Riverview Urban Renewal Area.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Motion on first reading of an ordinance providing for the division of taxes levied on taxable property, the June 2026 addition to the City of Webster City Riverview Urban Renewal Area pursuant to section 403.19 of the Code of Iowa.
So this ordinance is in conjunction with the previously acted upon item.
This is the ordinance that directs the county to divide the taxes and direct the TIF revenue to the TIF district when they make their disbursements twice a year. So that's the city council through your authority under Iowa statutes directing those funds.
Yeah.
Not to interrupt you, Ariel.
No,
Yeah.
you're good.
So
That's a good explanation. Call for motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
A resolution setting a date for a meeting at which it is proposed to approve a development agreement with Edible Garden Prairie Hills LLC, including the annual appropriation tax increment payments for June 15 at 6:05 p.m.
So this item, as Mayor mentioned, is a resolution to set the public hearing, June 15th at 6:05. The purpose of this upcoming hearing is to receive public comment on a proposed development agreement with Edible Gardens Prairie Hills LLC. And they are planning a significant commercial redevelopment project at 401 Des Moines Street for active business operations. To support this, the city has drafted a development agreement that provides annual appropriation TIP payments. capped at a cumulative total of not to exceed $6.3 million over the life of the agreement. I do want to emphasize that this financial commitment is not a general obligation of the city. Payments will be funded solely from the increment tax revenues actually generated by this specific property development. Per Iowa code, we are required to hold a formal public hearing before executing any agreement involving TIF incentives. So tonight, we're just requesting that we set a public hearing for June 15th at 6:05 p.m.
And just for the council's benefit, there are several obligations that the developer undertakes. And so I just want to go through those briefly to describe sort of the exchange that's happening in exchange for our support of the tax increment financing portion of it. Would note that their tax increment financing request is only 75% of what we anticipate them to be generating. So that will also support our redevelopment efforts because this is also in the Riverview TIF. So the company's agreeing to make a $25 million investment consistent with what they have represented to us. You'll remember several meetings ago, you received a business incentive application. A lot of the details were in that. But as part of this, they will attach their site plan as an exhibit, and they'll be obligated to make those improvements. We do want to see the temporary fencing removed from around that block, as well as the mounds of dirt. We're open to working with them on whether the footings for the prior work will be removed or not, but that's one obligation. They do need to maintain operation of business.
That's 12 months?
12 months, within 12 months, yes. They also have to pay their property taxes, agree to not request an abatement. They have to maintain compliance with the economic development agreement that they receive, or the economic development grant that they received from the IEDA. And if you defaults, or if they do not perform that, then this agreement, no longer has to be in force. Would remind the council that tax increment financing distributions are subject under Iowa law to your annual appropriations. So that is a unique aspect of the Iowa law, but those appropriations are within your decision making, and Doty presents those to you at the beginning of the year when we make those. We anticipate this to be a 15-year TIF, but I would also remind you, just from my earlier comments, that they are only asking for 75% of the increment. So there is benefit to the community. That is a high-level review of the obligations, but I just wanted to go over that so you were aware of the obligations and the agreement for the business.
Call from motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
B is a public hearing. Well, yeah, B is a public hearing on the proposal to dispose of city-owned real property at Fair Avenue area. I'll open the hearing. Are there any written objections?
No.
Are there any oral objections? Nope. Okay, all right.
So this item is a resolution authorizing a final purchase agreement to dispose of 2 city-owned parcels to Awesome Mowing for a lump sum of $15,000. The property consists of a 100-foot wide strip of abandoned railroad right-of-way between Fair and Woolsey Avenues along Outlot C in the Lawn Hill Addition. The buyer does plan to consolidate their local operations here and build a permanent shop structure between 2,400 and 3,000 square feet. Within the purchase agreement, we have built-in protective benchmarks directly into the agreement. The buyer must execute a warranty deed back to the city to be held in escrow. If a principal structure is not built before January 1 of 2029, ownership reverts back to the city and the purchase price is forfeited. The buyer cannot place any mortgages, liens, or judgments on the property without prior written approval from the city until construction starts, and they must complete a parcel line adjustment to secure a consistent M1 light industrial designation of the 2 parcels. And any future off-street parking must comply with our municipal hard surfacing ordinances. So tonight, staff is just recommending approval as this will effectively transfer ongoing maintenance and mowing liabilities entirely to the buyer while returning the vacant lot back to tax rolls.
Motion to approve.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna read that.
Make a.
Yeah.
Here. One thing I want to clarify, just for record, if you go back to your memo there. Zach.
Yep, I'm getting there, hold on.
One thing I want to clarify is that the whole reason we want this land is because we want it to be light industrial. So I just wanted to make sure the council is comfortable making this light industrial for us moving forward. That last bullet, finalize parcel line adjustment. You're just stating that we need to do with the county, and then you guys would be okay with adopting it as light industrial. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So you would just have to fill out the application with my office, and then we would just get you a letter written, and it would just, since the light industrial is already on the one parcel, it would just adopt that designation.
And really, that's all I wanted to clarify, because again, the property only makes sense if it can house a lawn care company.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that, thank you for considering it.
We were thinking you would make you build a whole building and then we'd say, oh, you can't do that there. But no, we weren't gonna do that there.
I knew I would do it, Jim. But I just wanted to put on record, that's agreement, just as you put on record that I have to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
So, very.
That's good.
You have a mowing company ready to go for that? or-
Yeah.
Sounds awesome. All right. Resolution approving the disposal of city-owned property, abandoned railroad right of way and outlot C, Lawn Hill Additions known as parcels 4088-260-222-6001 and 4088-260-222-6013 to Awesome Mowing LLC.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. Item C is a motion to set a public hearing to amend the fiscal year 26 budget for June 15 at 6:05 PM. Good evening, Daddy.
Okay, so I know we're just, excuse me, setting the hearing, but I just did want to make a couple of comments when you're reviewing. So the last few audits, we've had findings saying that, we should have amended when we didn't. Typically, I believe the reason is accrual entries so I probably went a little overboard because you are not penalized or you do not have a finding when you amend, but as it turns out, you did not need it. So that is why I have an excess and Ashley, you can.
Yeah. I know this well.
So, and then I did, on the agenda statement, I did have, one mistake I had put on the, community and economic development. I had shown that we need to amend, 1.2, it's really 1.1. So I mean, do you want me to go through tonight and explain some of the amendments, or would you prefer I wait until the hearing?
Just wait till the hearing.
Okay.
Fine.
All right.
You can wait.
Oh, yeah.
No, you got it. All right, call for motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
There's a resolution authorising the city manager to enter into an agreement with Williams and Company to perform the fiscal year 26, fiscal year 27 and 28 audit services for West City, Webster City. Managed to talk them into doing it again
Yeah. I did.
and for 3 years.
So as I stated in the agenda statement, RFPs were sent to 7 accounting firms that had shown past interest in auditing the city, or we had reached out previous. I did have a communication with RSM, which would have been a new firm. But they said they were interested, but they did not. I did also show like the different people that I reached out to some of the other communities that they audited. And I do think there was a wide variety of size of communities, you know, whether or not they had a electric utility or not. But Williams and Company is is the only firm that did return a proposal. And you know, we have worked with them for several years. I'm very comfortable with them. And I think that they do a thorough job. So I'm asking council to enter into a 3-year agreement to complete the fiscal 26, 27, and 28 audits.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Do you get the same audit partner every year? I guess I'm not sure how it works for the.
Well, yeah, we have, over the number of years that we've had Williams and Company, we have had a different partner. We have Justin, and Justin has been the partner that has been with the city for, I'm gonna say 6 years probably. And prior to that, Justin was the lead. Now Joanna is now our lead. Joanna, did the presentation. And Joanna has been our lead for, I'm gonna say, 4 years.
I just asked because sometimes it's good to switch it up, but I also understand you get used to your relationship.
Yeah, and you know that they have recently, well, within the last 2 years, opened up a West Des Moines office, and that is where Joanna is located. So versus Lamar's, it's easier for them also to have Joanna, but yeah, I see. I do like that comfort of because I do reach out to her and Justin for questions throughout the year of you know, help with different recording entries and.
That's good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Call for a motion.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
I
Thanks, Patty.
Thank you.
All right. Item E is resolution adopting the employee plan for 26-27. Good evening, Beth.
Good evening. Next to our annual happenings each year, the first is the pay plan, right? On the pay plan. This reflects the increases for the employees for the 26-27 fiscal year, and it combines all of the employees into one pay plan. So we have the firefighters union, which is 3 employees, the police union, which is 12, and then the remainder we refer to as our non-bargaining group. So the police will receive 4% per their agreement. This is the last year of their contract, so we will be in negotiations coming up this fall with them. The firefighters we just settled, theirs will be 3%, and 3% was approved in the budget for non-bargaining employees. We have an evaluation system that we go through. Every employee is evaluated. If they are in the needs improvement range, they do not receive that increase. They are put on a performance improvement plan. It is reviewed in 6 months to see if they've made progress, and if they have, then they would receive that percentage at that time.
Is that prorated or is that from that point on?
From that point on. Other questions or anything?
No questions on it? Call for a motion.
move to approve. Second.
All those in favour say aye.
I
Then item F is adopting the group benefit plan for city employees beginning July 1st of 26 with the Iowa Governmental Health Care Plan, third-party administrator employee benefit system.
This is our health, dental, vision, and life insurance programs that we have. This year, we were given a 2.43% increase with our health plan, 23.9% increase on the dental plan, and an 11.4% increase in the vision plan. So we have a committee that I work with. It includes members of all the departments over the city. It's a very beneficial group. We get together, they help me work through the renewal information. We investigate other options if they feel that is necessary. And then we get feedback from all the employees. So that's the process that we go through. With that process, we decided to accept the 2.43% increase for the health plan. With the vision, we are changing to a Visas, which is a fully insured product that will result in a 13.3% savings overall. On the dental plan, we are going to stay with our self-insured plan with the 23.9. We did review other options there. There was a Delta dental plan that was 18.4% increase versus the 23.9. There were some issues with networks and the overall benefits of the plan, so the group felt it was more beneficial to stay where we were at that point in time. For the Avisas, we do have a 2-year rate guarantee for that plan that we are recommending that we move to. So they police fire, as part of the fire agreement, they go with non-bargaining now. Employees, that's a 10% payment for the families, and then city pays 90%. They currently pay 100% of single coverage.
Who's the dental plan with?
We're self-insured.
Self-insured.
Mhm. We were self-insured for vision as well, but we're gonna make that change, so. See how that goes, so. We've been able to, as being a part of the IGHCP, we've been able to control our costs very well since joining with them, so very pleased with that part of it. I would also like to thank the committee, Brian Stroner, Dana Casey, Zach Williams, Brianne Lesher, and Ashley Dinsdale. They all work really hard on this. It's not something they're used to every day, but they really dig in and are very helpful.
Call for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Beth.
Thank you.
Okay, G is a resolution adopting the square footage model lot pricing, establishing a tiered dwelling size layout for combined multi-lot purchases, and reaffirming continued compliance with existing subdivision covenants for the Brewer Creek Estates 5th and 6th editions.
Name again. This item introduces a new lot pricing structure for remaining and 5th and 6th editions of Brewer Creek. Following council direction on May 18th, this resolution implements what was referred to as option C, which is the square footage model that was presented back on May 18th. To give some context, the city made a significant infrastructure investment of approximately $2.76 million to develop this subdivision. Due to slow historical absorption, with only 13 out of 52 lots sold since 2017, we still have about $2.38 million in outstanding project costs. Transitioning to a square footage model dynamically lowers upfront land costs for developers and home builders. It also widens our tax base and accelerates TIF recovery. With this model, we project total land sales revenue under this model at $610,000 across the remaining 39 lots. To protect our long-term financial recovery and ensure these lower entry prices directly drive the construction of higher value homes, the policy does establish baseline multi-lot floor area requirements, which wasn't previously allowed, meaning that somebody couldn't buy more than one lot to build on. With this floor plan, or I apologize, floor area requirement, what is being recommended is a combined footprint under 20,000 square feet, which would require 1,500 square feet of main level floor area. That is what our, that aligns with our current covenants of Brewer Creek 5th and 6th edition. So we are looking to keep the current covenants in place, but then these would just be additional to the multi-lot purchases. So combined footprints of 20,000 to 35,000 square feet would require a minimum of 1,800 square feet on the main level, and then combined footprints over 35,000 square feet require a 2,200 square foot floor area on the main level. Reason being is to prevent disproportionate small homes on these highly valuable footage. Footprint acreages, so the larger lots are seen as more of an estate or an acreage size lot. So we want to make sure that we're not getting a tiny home built on such a large lot. And so tonight, city staff is just recommending approval of the resolution to adopt the square footage model and the tiered square footage main level requirements for the multi-lot purchase.
Call for motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Item H is a resolution approving an amendment purchase agreement for the disposal of city-owned property lots 1, 2, and 3 in Brewer Creek Estates, 5th edition, to Origin Homes LLC for the amount of $300.
So this item, the purchase agreement actually came before the council on May 18th. After council previously reviewed an initial version of this agreement, it's brought back to you tonight after additional conversations with Origin Homes and Hubble Realty to iron out the finer operational and security details of the contract. The three things that have been refined would be the timing of closing. So the contracts, the new timing provision now cleanly and clearly aligns with the developer's application for the workforce housing tax credit. So that would allow for both parties to close as soon as possible. We have also placed the previous escrow restrictions with a streamlined section of 23A, which requires Origin Homes to record an option to purchase back to the city if construction has not commenced by December 1st of 2027. And then under the section 23A, the city also agrees to subordinate this option to any lender placing a primary construction mortgage on the lot. So this mechanism benefits both parties. The recorded option protects the city by requiring any subsequent lender trying to place a mortgage, and it also simultaneously protects the developer by guaranteeing the city will not subordinate to the necessary mortgage needed to build. The price would stay the same of the lots being sold for $100 each. While this is below market level or market value, the disposal facilitates the construction of new housing units and increases the city's property tax base. Origin is a well-known and reputable developer, so city staff is recommending that council approve this with the amended purchase agreement. Adi Maxey with the Ames Alliance is here if you have any additional questions or if he wants to give a little more information on Origin. Or if John.
That was a beautiful overview. Thank you. We passed the purchase agreement last meeting in an effort to speed along their process for workforce housing tax credits. Thought that purchase agreement was good. Zach, can you give a high-level summary of the two provisions around the deed and the mortgage so the council understands what were the particular holdups for Origin that diverge from what we would consider our standard purchase agreement? And then I'll just mention a few things after.
Yeah. So the two, obviously timing was one thing that we had to get through, which we've worked through based on their tax credits. They're hoping to break ground. They said this year still, with the 6-month turnaround time on building out, they were hoping to have them for sure completed by this time next year, which is big news for us. But we normally, as you guys have approved other agreements even tonight, understand we normally take a deed back in escrow, which just means simply that they fail to meet the timeline of 12 months starting, 18 months completing it, that we can essentially walk into the escrow company and receive the deed back, and no harm, no foul. The city just ends up with the property back. The second one is that we don't allow the property owner to put a mortgage on the property. Again, you guys went through the same thing tonight on other agreements. We don't allow them to put mortgages on the property until essentially once construction commences, then they're allowed to start getting permission, and we would subordinate our essentially a right to them to start building. But and the reason we do that again is because we don't want somebody to come in and just take the property. Now they have 3 lots in town and they just dump mortgages on them, or they use them as collateral on a different project. That was a big back and forth with us and Origin. At the end of the day, like John and Ariel shared, you know, they're a reputable company and they're assuring us that, if they don't get this, workforce housing tax credit, obviously the project's not happening. And they could simply just turn around and give the property back to the city, no question, or if they don't get started within a year, it's not gonna happen anyway, and that's at that point, we have the option to essentially take it back. We can execute on the option to purchase, but it's no consideration, so it'd be $0, we can take it back, so. And then we agreed to subordinate, because the way that they run their operation is when they close on the sale, they're closing on the construction at the same time. So their point about us saying you can't put a mortgage on it until you start construction, their point is, well, it's all in one. So it's not like not like we're holding it and then gonna figure out how to build it. The example that Matt gave was, they typically like to start construction like within a week of closing. So he said it's all gonna be rolled into one, and so they can't do that, so which we'd have to be fine with, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think the risk with the mortgage or the deed back was addressed with a provision about what was that again?
Option to purchase, back.
The option to purchase back. So, you know,
So that's the give and take for us.
right. I prefer Zach's language, but in the sake of economic development, and I want to sort of caution that. And really more importantly, the company's reputation thus far of performing. I'm comfortable bringing this to you as a recommendation in an effort to, you know, spur some single family housing development. You know, this is over $1 million invested. And so while we, of course, prefer Zach's language, we are willing to recommend that in the sake of partnership and tax-based growth and offering other living options to those seeking to locate to the community.
And it is their common language. Just to throw out some communities that they've recently built in. Knoxville is going through their second phase of projects with Origin, Jefferson, Aurora.
Third phase with Knoxville, yeah. It's the
Third phase.
Yeah.
Third phase.
And in a document that they submitted, they have a healthy list of references of officials associated with workforce housing in the state, and then several communities where they have constructed and sold homes: Manning, Gowrie, Knoxville, Conrad, Jefferson, and Panora. So
What is the IED? They're waiting for the awards from IEDA, is that correct?
yeah,
And when do we expect that?
Audie, when will the awards be made?
They're announced in September.
I would also say, to Webster City's benefit and credit, Origin is a highly sought after developer in rural Iowa. They have a lot of communities that knock on their door where they don't go. They have been a leader in sort of the state's workforce housing associated with single family built, right? So I think Webster City can consider itself fortunate that they are interested in investing here.
Just briefly, Webster City is the only new community that Origin is bringing online this year. Their other applications are going to be in Knoxville and Conrad. So, to your credit, to John, Zach's credit, Ariel, this is a good get, and they'll test the market. And if it proves, they'll be back again. If it doesn't prove, 3 homes will be sold, and that's the way it is. But to be direct, that's how it'll work.
Yeah.
They've got an aggressive marketing team. We've committed to partnering with them. Matt will, should this move forward, Matt will be here at our Hamilton County Growth Partnership meeting the same day that the ribbon cutting is for Director Durham on June 25th to introduce himself to the community.
Thank you.
Thanks, Audie. Call for a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
And we have a second reading of an ordinance amending the. That one, wasn't it? Yep. Second reading of an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of Webster City or City of Webster City 2019 by amending chapter section 8-29 of chapter 8 pertaining to keeping livestock within the corporate limits of the City of Webster City, Iowa.
So this item is back before you, with the recommendation from council to also, include language that prohibits chickens on any, property premises of a multifamily apartment complex. So again, this is just limiting chickens to 6 chickens, only hens allowed, which is already in our code. And then the only other provision that's new is not having chickens at an apartment complex. So tonight, we're just seeking approval, or I'm sorry, yes, approval of the second reading and hopes to waive the third reading and pass and adopt.
Call for a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
And call for a motion.
Move to waive the
Third reading.
third reading.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
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 Move to pass and adopt ordinance.
Good.
Second.
Good.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
All right, J, resolution supporting the submission of an Iowa Economic Development Authority IEDA application to the Workforce Housing Tax Credit Program for Origin Homes.
So this is what we've been speaking about, in the 2 items prior, or the item that was 2 items prior. Origin is seeking just the support of the city to apply for the Workforce Housing Tax Credit Program. So tonight, we're just looking, for the resolution to support that application approved.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
And then K is a resolution authorising acceptance for the Beach Street PCC Rehabilitation Project. Good evening, Brandon.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So yeah, this is just kind of ready for closeout for the Beach Street project. Just to summarize this project, this was a concrete panel replacement on Beach Street from Iowa Central to 2nd Street. This was paid through federal aid swap, 80%, and then 20% through this sales tax fund. As you can see in the change order, number 1, the deduction of $72,510. The bulk of that, I think 50,000 of that was, there was already good sub-base material there. And so that's very not likely in what we found here, but along Beach Street, there was really good sub-base, so that saved us a lot. And then the liquidated damages, the 5,000 was just, they didn't quite meet the deadline. And so that's what the 5,000 was about. So the final construction amount was the $862,588. And TK, it was our first time working with TK. I thought they performed the project very well. They were easy to work with. And obviously they're back with another project this year, and that seems to be going very well as well.
Okay. Call for motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
I is the resolution authorising the city manager to sign and execute change order number 3 and partial payment application number 9 to sub-final recommend project acceptance for the Brewer Street and Wilson Avenue project.
Yeah, so ready for closeout on this project as well. The Brewer Wilson project consisted of so north of the bridge was just mill and fill HMA asphalt. South of the bridge was all brand new storm sewer, sanitary sewer. There's some spot repairs, and then all new water main on Brewer Street. Curb and gutter going up the hill was probably the most important. Prior to that, there was nothing for many years. This was just a place where we just threw cold mix down and it was a Band-Aid. For so many years, that was the place for drop off and pick up for the school. And so really it was hard on the sides of the road. And so with all this being redone, it's really done a lot for that area. I know they've been looking forward to this for a long, long time. Change order number 1 and 2 was brought to you a while back. We just had some water sewer. We added curb and gutter going to the north on the east side of the road. Change order 3 was just a deduction from quantities that we just didn't use. And so as you can see, that final construction amount was just under the original contract amount of $1,008,000. So one thing I want to say on this project is this was done last year when in the spring we had all that wet weather, and I know we had some issues with some projects. But I will say, Nels Pedersen, we worked alongside with for many years. He did a lot of stuff. Anytime it was going to rain, he prepared the area very well. Enjoy working with him. He's very particular, does things the right way. And finally, North Central Turf was their restoration to the grass and dirt work. And I called Jamie right when they got completed. And I said, that's one of the best looking final touches of a project I've seen. So it's nice to have a local contractor give the final touch and do it right for the homeowners and the property person.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Okay, Zach, you want to say anything about yours?
Yeah, pretty exciting. It always is exciting when we go over the things that I feel like I'm talking about right afterwards. So,
Well, you don't have to
yeah,
say
maybe one of these days,
Yeah,
I'll
well,
put it
right.
right first. So, all the purchase agreements we talked about, Apple, Fair Meadow, all are done now and signed off on, so we can get work on the closing docs now and get those all closed in this month. Chicken ordinance, of course, you guys passed, and then Links Development. We've worked through all that with their attorneys, and everything is signed off on and will be reported so that development's done well. So that's all I got.
Did you want me to ask about whether you'll add more than 6 chickens per acre or?
Yeah. That's the rule, right? Well, per acre, so I can have 90.
Yeah, but you got to keep the fox away.
Yeah.
All right. So closed session, meeting closed session to discuss the purchase of sale of particular real estate only where premature disclosure could be reasonably expected to increase the price the government body would have to pay for that property, or reduce the price government body would have to receive for that property as provided by chapter 21.5J of the Code of Iowa.